Have you ever seen a good piece of art? Chances are you would say yes, but what is actually good? How does it vary for different people? What would be some objectively consistent things that make art good? How can you implement these things in your art? Hi, I'm May, a digital artist, and let's talk more about this in today's video. As we'll explore this topic, I'll share the process of drawing Chongyun from Genshin Impact for a stamp rally at Docomi, and later on we'll revisit some old illustrations to see how we can breathe new life into them. First, let's talk about the Chongyun illustration I created for Docomi. I actually did 2 illustrations for this event, and today I'll walk you through the process of drawing the second one. If you missed the first one, feel free to check out my previous video where I also talked about my experience exhibiting at Docomi after this one. Alright, let's get started. Before we dive into the details, let's talk about the basics. Having solid fundamentals is important. This means ensuring nothing looks off, the symmetry of the eyes, the length of limbs, perspective and proportions. But is that enough to make art truly good? Now let's move on to the next aspect, adding a unique flair to make your art stand out. For me, this is particularly relevant because I've noticed that my art can sometimes feel boring. Yes, it's okay to look at, but nothing is too outstanding. At conventions, when I look through other artists' work, and even my own, I rarely feel the urge to buy it, but that's also because I almost never buy anything, even if the art is really good. Still, I often see artworks that are truly unique, interesting and special. They seem to have this special flair to them, even if the proportions or fundamentals are off and may not make sense at times. I almost never experience this with my own art. Instead of just saying, yeah, this is solid, it looks good, I want to create art that leads to a reaction like, this looks really pretty and special. I want it to be so mesmerizing that you'd love to have it as your phone wallpaper, for example. It should make you feel good, like you vibe with it. The aesthetic should be beautiful and you should love the atmosphere it creates. These are the things I want to focus more on. Not just making art look good, but making you feel something when you look at it. It's difficult to put into words, but I like conveying the idea of being completely free, set free from all things in this world, just dreaming peace, hope, light, calmness, relaxation, serenity, composure. These are the feelings I would like my art to evoke, and the aesthetics that inspire me include dreamcore among others. Speaking of aesthetics, I've created a detailed list of elements and inspirations that I want to incorporate into my art some time ago. Here I'll mention what I wrote down in this list. Maybe it inspires you for what you could include in your own one. First, I included what I would like to draw in general, which would be pretty, handsome and cute boys with pretty nice outfits. Next, I defined the feeling or atmosphere I would like for my art to have. This would be dreamy, flowy, soft, calm, relaxing, a bit otherworldly and ethereal. For this, I also used some aesthetics that fit to this to me, which would be pastel academia, sparkle core, space core, love core, unicorn core, nostalgia core, angel core, comfy, dreamy, ethereal, soft, kawaii, and lo-fi. After this, I mentioned some themes or fandoms I would like to be inspired by for my art. This could also be turned into full-on project ideas. As themes, we have childhood and nostalgia, dreams, music, romance, aesthetics, as well as personality types such as MBTI. More on the fandom side would be Bella Sara, Genshin Impact, otome games such as Cafe Enchante, idol anime such as Ensemble Stars, or sports anime like Haikyuu. As another aspect here, kind of fitting to the fandoms, I would add music. Often music makes you feel a specific way and has its own unique aesthetic as well. Using this as inspiration can work really well as well. Some artists I really like here and would like to be inspired by would be Skillet, Starset and Set It Off. For a bit of a darker, edgy vibe, Chase Atlantic, Trading Yesterday and Sleeping at Last. For more of a lo-fi, relaxed, dreamy vibe. For more of a fun, nostalgic vibe, we would have Kesha, Tayo Cruz and Usher. For a bit of a creepy, also edgy vibe, we would have music from Rarely Human and Sudo. And finally, I would add more Japanese music that can fit all of the above depending on the song from Ensemble Stars, Hypnosis Mic, Obey Me, B Project, Tsukiyata, Paradox Live, Act Addict Actors and Argonavis. And finally, I added a list of elements I could include in my art, ideas on how I could include the previously mentioned aspects. For clothes, I would mention going for oversized, flowy pieces and at times including translucent fabrics. Minimalist, basic and clean designs would also be interesting to me here. Accessoires to add to this would be hair clips, necklaces, earrings, tiaras and ribbons. Color-wise, I would like to use pastel colors with mostly purple, blue and pink hues. As lighting or shading, I would go for rather soft shading. Often most of the character would be in light. Using gradients here would also be an idea, and props or objects I could include would be wings, crystals, toys, books and tech such as phones or laptops. Ideas for backgrounds would include pastel colors and dreamscapes. at times fully painted scenes of skies for example as well. Similarly to the clothes, I also like a minimalist, clean look here often. Finally, for extra effects ideas I would mention small particles, a grain effect and some blurring or lighting effects, and as kind of a bonus here would be some motifs to use in clothes designs, accessoires, props, backgrounds, or for extra effects. These can be pretty versatile: air, water, ice, light, music, floral patterns, dreamscapes, clouds, bubbles, hearts, sparkles, planets, as well as suns, moons and stars. Searching through the aesthetics wiki for elements to include can be very helpful here as well once you've determined some aesthetics you would like to be inspired by. Implementing these elements in my projects can be challenging. I often draw fan art, which can limit how much I can incorporate these elements. For example, drawing Zhongli with angel wings and tiaras might not fit his character, except for a magical girl AU maybe, but combining both character-specific elements and my general aesthetic could be a solution. To better understand how to add this special flair, let's look at some artists who excel at this. Yuki would be one artist I analyzed, and here the outfits and accessories as well as the simplicity and pastel colors lead to a kawaii lo-fi aesthetic. Haruaki is another artist. The patterns, small elements, neon colors, hue variation, saturated borders lead to a cute kawaii aesthetic. Implix pastel pink colors and in general neon or muted tones lead to a unique lo-fi modern casual aesthetic. From these artists we can take away a few key points: play with composition and perspective, experiment with poses and expressions, use interesting colors and lighting, add props, elements and backgrounds, incorporate effects like blurs, particles and grain. Now let's apply these insights to my old cafe illustrations of Genshin Impact characters. 2 started by fixing some proportions, like the symmetry of facial features. I made the faces more expressive, adding more intense smiles and outlining facial features. I also enhanced the lighting, adding white and blue light at the outer edges to separate parts and create more depth. While these changes definitely improved the illustrations, I still feel they haven't reached their full potential. This might be due to the format of sticker illustrations, but it's also a reminder to keep pushing my art to incorporate more personal flair. Next, I'd like to take a moment to reflect on a question that might seem simple but is deeply personal for every artist. Why do you draw, or why are you an artist? Finding an answer to this question alone can help you tremendously when it comes to finding out what you would like to draw and what you would like your art to convey. It's kind of a lifelong development since you yourself will always change over time, but taking some time to reflect on these questions every now and then can be like your guiding star or moon in a dark night. Knowing who you are and being comfortable with yourself is a good ability to have for your art and also in life in general. For me, my purpose as an artist goes beyond just creating something visually appealing. I want to bring a sense of calmness, serenity, and peace to people through my work. Life can be chaotic, and sometimes we need a space that feels detached from all the noise. My faith has inspired me to see beauty as a gift from God, something we can create and appreciate in many ways, and that beauty doesn't look the same to everyone. Each person can find it in their own way, whether it's in the details of a painting, the simplicity of a quiet moment, or the way light falls on a scene. Through my art, I hope to celebrate this beauty, to remind people of the good in life, and to evoke a sense of hope, calm, and peace. I also want to take this vision beyond my drawings. In the future, I'd love to create videos that explore this feeling of peace and creativity in a more immersive way, videos that feel relaxing in a way. Imagine watching something that not only inspires you creatively, but also leaves you feeling calm, relieved, and at peace with yourself. That's what I would like to share. Some ideas I've been brainstorming include drawing from personal experiences, like moments of self-doubt or discovery from my teenage years, and turning them into visual stories or character concepts that others might find relatable and inspiring. This could also include reflecting on universal themes like relationships, hobbies, growth, or nostalgia. To me, exploring both shared and individually unique experiences can be helpful and interesting in many ways. I've also thought about creating characters or artworks inspired by these ideas, blending elements of imagination, emotion, and creativity to turn everyday struggles and dreams into something meaningful. Then I am fascinated by creative experimentation as well, combining unexpected elements, blending different inspirations like fandoms, as well as letting chance decide how an artwork develops. For example, reimagining familiar characters or settings in other styles, designing fusion characters that draw on different themes, or even bringing nostalgic memories to life through character art. I love the idea of using randomizers like spinning wheels or playful prompts to generate unique designs, as well as illustrating dreamlike scenes or character representations of different topics such as aesthetics and archetypes. I love brainstorming ideas like these, even if they're probably too many to draw and turn into projects. If anything of what I mentioned sounds particularly interesting to you, let me know. While I know I'll always have more ideas than the time to realize them, I hope to bring some of these ideas to life in the future. For you, I hope mentioning all of this sparks a moment of reflection. What is your purpose? Whether you're an artist or not, you can think about what gives your life meaning and how you can use your abilities and inspirations, whatever those may be, to do something impactful. Life is full of opportunities to do meaningful things, and art is one of the ways in which I would like to do that. It's a way to take the peace and happiness that my faith gives me and share it with others. To me, the ability to make the world a little brighter and improve something is very encouraging and inspiring. Whether through art, work, or everyday kindness, you have the power to create something meaningful. I hope joining me on this journey of artistic improvement is helpful to you as well. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Let me know in the comments how you add flair to your own art, and if you have any tips or artists you admire. I'll have the cafe illustrations I painted over in today's video on my shop. If you're interested, you can check it out. I have several other stickers and prints on there as well. And in case you would like to see more screen recorded process videos, time lapses or full resolution images, feel free to check out my Patreon. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.